What is worthy of noting about the divisions of the priests of the temple? This is the question we seek to answer today as we continue our verse-by-verse study of the book of 1 Chronicles on Walking Through the Bible.
The glory of his cross.
Today we're going to be discussing 1 Chronicles chapter 24, verses 1 to 19. But before we do that, let's read the passage. If you have a Bible with you, you can turn to 1 Chronicles chapter 24, verse 1. But if you don't have a Bible, don't worry. Just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So 1 Chronicles chapter 24, beginning at verse 1. Now these are the divisions of the sons of Aaron. The sons of Aaron were Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar. And Nadab and Abihu died before their father and had no children. Therefore Eleazar and Ithamar ministered as priests. Then David was Zadok of the sons of Eleazar, and Ahimelech of the sons of Ithamar, divided them according to the schedule of their service. There were more leaders found of the sons of Eleazar than of the sons of Ithamar, and thus they were divided. Among the sons of Eleazar were 16 heads of their fathers' houses, and 8 heads of their fathers' houses among the sons of Ithamar. Thus they were divided by lot, one group as another, for there were officials of the sanctuary and officials of the house of God, from the sons of Eleazar and from the sons of Ithamar. And the scribe Shemaiah, the son of Nethanel, one of the Levites, wrote them down before the king. The leaders, Zadok the priest, Ahimelech the son of Abiathar, and the heads of the fathers' houses of the priests and Levites, one father's house taken for Eleazar, and one for Ithamar. Now the first lot fell to Jehoreb, the second to Jediah, the third to Haram, the fourth to Seorim, the fifth to Malchijah, the sixth to Mijamin, the seventh to Hakaz, the 8th to Abijah, the 9th to Jeshua, the 10th to Shechaniah, the 11th to Eliashib, the 12th to Jacob, the 13th to Huppah, the 14th to Jeshabib, the 15th to Bilgah, the 16th to Immer, the 17th to Hezer, the 18th to Hapazez, the 19th to Pethahiah, the 20th to Jezekel, the 21st to Jachin, the 22nd to Gamul, the 23rd to Deliah, the 24th to Maazah. This was the schedule of their service for the coming into the house of the Lord according to their ordinance by the hand of Aaron their father, as the Lord God of Israel had commanded him. In this section of 1 Chronicles, we are looking at the organization of the temple worship. Recall, David is not allowed to build the temple, with David explaining that God said it was because he shed too much blood during his reign. Therefore, his son Solomon, one whose reign would be much more peaceful, would be the one to build the temple. But this didn't mean that David would therefore not have anything to do with the temple's construction, for we find that David set up all the wheels in motion as it concerned hiring laborers and obtaining materials in the years prior to his death. What this preparation did was allow Solomon to complete the task quicker than if he had to start everything from scratch. One of the most important things David did in preparing for the temple was organizing the worship of the temple and the priests and Levites' rotations for said temple. Perhaps it's because we don't study the Old Testament in depth that often, but when we think of the priests, we think of a rather small club of people. In the beginning, it was Aaron and the 4 sons, Nadab and Abihu, Eleazar and Ithamar. Now, of course, Nadab and Abihu died at the hand of the Lord for offering unauthorized fire, and 1 Chronicles 24 confirms that they had no children. That meant that there was Aaron and his 2 sons who acted as priests, with Eleazar's and Ithamar's children joining the ranks when they reached the proper age. But the priesthood didn't remain that small forever. We read of Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, in the books of Exodus, Numbers, Joshua, and Judges. But after Phinehas, we don't read of his children until we come to the genealogical list found here in 1 Chronicles. The next priest we read of is Eli, but Eli isn't from the house of Eleazar, but of the house of Ithamar. But again, since we only read of a small subset of people, we might assume the priesthood is small, but it is not, because the children would have had children who would have had children, and so on, until now you had a priesthood that needed organizing so that each priest would have ample ability to serve the Lord in the temple. But how would this organization take place? The same way other things were determined in Israel, by family. You had the two main houses of Aaron, Eleazar and Ithamar. There were more leaders found in the house of Eleazar, 16, than in Ithamar, 8. So therefore, the families from Eleazar would work more often in the temple. And soon after David's death, the high priesthood would therefore solely be from the house of Eleazar, fulfilling God's word spoken against the house of Eli because of their sin. The ordering for which families served when was chosen by lot and largely alternated between Eleazar and Ithamar until you ran out of families in Ithamar. We've seen some of these names before in our genealogical lists, but there is one name that we should take note of, the 8th division, the division of Abijah. Why is this important? Because in Luke 1 verse 5, Zacharias, the father of John the Baptist, is said to be serving as a priest under this division, showing us that the divisions set up in David's day were still being followed in Jesus' day. It is a small detail that we can easily miss in passing through a list of names, but it should warn us to slow down sometimes, for a deeper understanding can often come by not skimming past what are seemingly useless details to us, but by reading them and seeing if there are any New Testament connections. 2 Chronicles will reveal to us that each division worked for 1 week, from Sabbath to Sabbath, and if you count the number of weeks per year, it meant that each division would have 2 temple weeks per year in which to serve. What of the Levites, though, who weren't priests? We'll discuss them, the Lord willing, in the next lesson. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of 1 Chronicles chapter 24, verses 20 to 31, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time.
Thank you for watching today's episode. We hope that you found it edifying and ask that you not only subscribe to our channel and podcast, but that you like and share this episode among your friends, so that the saving gospel of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.